Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we have a foundation video, so let's cue the confetti and the party horns. In fact, I'd like to cue them up twice because I did the Burberry foundation review from a few days ago and forgot them. How could I forget confetti and air horns, a leftover from 2022 when we had so many foundation reviews? Not as many this year, but a lot of serum foundations this year. And today we have the new one from Saie. This is the Saie Glowy Super Skin Lightweight Hydrobounce Serum Foundation. We're going to talk about it, try it on, and do a wear test. I'm not sure how long the wear test will be, but I'll let you know when we get there. The wear test is obviously at the end of the video after the demo. Okay, this little guy is $40. I got him in shade 10, but there are 36 shades to choose from, and I think shade 10 isn't too bad. I was afraid it might be a little bit too dark, but it is not. Shade 10 is that kind of light, medium, neutral, which just tends to kind of work for me. Again, $40. This is a radiant finish, which I think you can agree with because you'll see it in the demo, but I am wearing it now. Medium but buildable coverage. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Hydrating, obviously liquid with sugar-derived squalane. Sugar-derived. Part of the clean beauty. That's good. I'm trying not to eat any sugar, so that's nice that my skin gets some, right? This is applied by first shaking it because it's a serum, and then either using your fingers, again, because it's like a serum, a brush or a sponge, but really they recommend fingers, and this is fully recyclable. And in fact, if you go on either to the Saie site, I think the information is on Sephora as well, and I do have the product linked below so you can see it for yourself. You can click on it and buy, but you can see the recycling information. They actually have a site they refer you to that helps recycle the empty product, which is very nice. I left a little something on this bottle to show you. This little bit of mess, and it's like, oh my goodness, Rebecca, you can't clean your products before you go on camera? Well, I could have, but I just wanted you to see. When they say this is lightweight, this is, you'll see it in the demo, it's drippy. I mean, this is very, very lightweight. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about serum foundations. I think pretty much all of the foundations I've reviewed in 2023 have been serum foundation. Let's see if I can think of all of them. We started with the KVD had a serum foundation, followed by Gucci. Those are both matte. Then Laura Mercier had the newer foundation, a little bit dewier. And then, as you know, I just reviewed the Burberry, which is the same thing. And then the Saie, which is the kind of dewiest and most radiant, I would say, of all of them. These serum foundations are a little different than a typical foundation. The reason I'm taking time before the demo to address this, I actually think it's kind of important. People are asking me about the serum foundations, that list I just enumerated there, and they're saying, how does it compare to the Makeup by Mario? How does it compare to the House Labs? It's tough, you guys, because we're not comparing apples to apples. These serum foundations, and the tip-off that they're serum foundations usually is that they promise super long wear and they promise to be lightweight. These serum foundations are indeed exactly like a serum, like a skincare serum, not just skincare ingredients. We're kind of used to niacinamide and hyaluronic acid being included in our foundation for a while now. What these do, that's why I was showing you how runny this is, and you'll see it in the demo. These sink into the skin pretty much like your skincare does. You know when you do your skincare in the morning and then it should be all kind of sunk in by the time you get over there and start doing your makeup? That's like this, but it's a foundation. Really hard to compare this to a traditional liquid foundation, which does, for all intents and purposes, sit on top of the skin. Still comfy, still lovely. No offense to traditional liquid foundations, but these serum ones are a little different, so it's kind of hard to compare. Easier to compare serum to serum. And the way that I would say about this one is this is the dewiest or most radiant of all of them. Once it's on, it's really on. They don't really transfer. Anything that I feel on my skin now is the Saie. I've added a little bit of, I'm wearing all Saie right now, and I added in the dewy, the highlighter that's dewy, and the blush that's fairly radiant. But for the most part, they are kind of a natural finish. This one is a slight bit dewier. The coverage. It is absolutely buildable. Please watch in the demo that's coming up. It is an absolutely buildable finish, but it does coverage, but it does not start off that way right away. In fact, I think it was a very light medium, and I have on about 4 layers of it. It oxidizes just a tad bit, but not much at all. The Burberry oxidizes the least out of all of these. The Burberry went on one color and stayed that way for 8 hours. This one may be darkened a smidgen, not too much. I do have some of the Saie cream bronzer on, so that might be where we're getting some of this sunny look that I'm having. It didn't oxidize too much, but a little bit. The Burberry doesn't at all. I'm starting to get good at comparing all of these serum foundations. Okay, so the way I'm doing these reviews now, you guys, is this is brand new, newly applied. So take a look at this. You'll see it newly applied, obviously, in the demo, but here it is newly applied with just a little bit of Saie makeup over the top. And then when I come back after the demo, that is when we'll have let it go 6, 8, whatever hours, and we'll take a look at it together. So let's go right now to the demo of the Saie Glowy Super Skin Lightweight Hydrobounce Serum Foundation. All right, so we start by shaking. And then it's a serum, really a traditional serum. So they say that I should put it on with my fingers. A brush you could use. Let's just see. Let's see how it feels. Let's do this side of the face and we'll compare it. Now I did do a little sneaky stripe when it first came here just to see, and it looks like it's pretty good, but maybe a tad bit light. So let's see if it oxidizes. Woo, it is definitely runny. Can you see that running down my hand? If I left my hand vertically like this, it would run all the way down to my elbow. So this is definitely very lightweight, but it is medium and buildable. So let's just put a few dots on my face here. By the way, I have nothing on my face whatsoever at all. Okay, well, let's go ahead and treat it like a serum. It's so light, it feels like a serum. I was going to say a moisturizer, but it actually feels like a serum, identically. Okay, and let's see what we think. There's a little piece. Actually, that shade's not bad, is it? I was worried. I just did one stripe just to see, and I was a little bit worried that it might be a bit light. Now remember, I do need concealer and makeup, of course. This is on skin that just has skincare. I do not use a primer. I don't use anything like that when I'm testing a product because we don't know what might interfere, right? Okay, so this side has our new Saie serum, and this side has absolutely nothing. Should we do another coat? They say it's buildable, and I don't feel this is medium coverage at all, do you? I think I did okay with the shade, though. Okay, so medium and buildable, let's go ahead and give that a try. And I am using my hands because it does feel like a serum, but I think a brush or a sponge would work nicely as well. Sponge might give you way too light of application. This really should be with my hand here because I'm kind of, for lack of a better word, smearing it on. This should give me the fullest application, and I'm still feeling like it's a very light medium at best. That is not a bad thing, just a reporting thing. Okay, again, we have 2 layers on this side, maybe 2.5 really, right? And nothing over here. And I have some breakouts over here so you can kind of see what it's covering. The breakouts are here too. I have no idea why I got them bilaterally. Okay. Not bad. You can see it's a tad bit light, but it looks like it's starting to blend. I don't really think it's oxidizing. I got some on my hand here still because this stuff is so thin. Let's just really try to build it. I'll do the other side off camera. Don't worry, I won't make you sit through it. But let's just use up what I got and get a really good 3 or 4 layers here. If it says it's buildable, let's test it and see how medium coverage we can get, okay? All right, so we have a whole side of my face done now with about 4 layers. It's gone off my hand now. All right, about four layers on this side of my face, and that built up very nicely. It doesn't feel cakey or uncomfortable. This side has nothing. Off camera, what I'm going to do is put 4 layers on this side of the face and put on some makeup. The intro that you saw, we'll have it freshly applied. And then I'm just hanging out. It's the weekend, so we will do the final right before I take it off at the end of the day. And that will serve as our wear test as well. Okay, so here, 4 layers, 3.5, 4 layers, nothing. Last look. Let's get some makeup. Okay, it is the late afternoon. It is a Saturday. I kind of want to get in some just like relaxing clothes and have some pizza for dinner. So I'm actually going to take off my makeup, but it has been 8 hours. Just for transparency, I've done nothing, but I have reapplied some lipstick just so I looked a little better for the camera, but that's all I have done. So let's take a look at 8 hours in. I'm not expecting to have too many problems because this is indeed a serum foundation. So let's see how we did. Okay, I have a little bit of concealer under the eye that I did not powder because I don't do that for these videos, but I still think it hung in there pretty well. Maybe a little bit of lines, but not too bad because this has a more radiant finish. I feel like radiant finishes keep things kind of moving and smooth on the skin. That's why I feel they sink in a bit less. Okay, I see some lines here. I don't really have any concealer here. That smoothed out really nicely with my fingers and looks really fresh again. Let's see about pores. Okay, so there is some radiance and I see my pores a tiny bit, but they are not exacerbated. That is how I would see my pores with any other really good luminous foundation. Nothing to be alarmed by. It's not like it's sinking in or making them bigger. Let's check the chin and the cheeks. Chin, again, same. I have some breakouts here that, they're kind of showing the concealer's worn off. Okay. Nothing exaggerated. I do see my pores because I have the very highlighty blush and highlighter. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing exaggerated, just typical skin after 8 hours of wear, but it is quite lovely. If I applied a little bit of powder to it, which I do not do on a first time wear test, if I had, I think I'd be even better. So what do I think of this? I think it's very, very good. I'm a real big fan of Saie. I think of the serum foundations, this is, as I mentioned, I believe earlier, this is the most kind of, dewy or radiant finish as the brand calls it. But it is a serum foundation. If you put this up against the Laura Mercier, it might just be a tie. This oxidizes the second to least. The Burberry doesn't oxidize at all. This one gets a smidgen bit darker, a smidgen. So it's right under the Burberry there. But I think this competes the most with the Laura Mercier. If you like the Laura Mercier, I think you would like this one too, a tad bit more radiant. Could I compare this to a regular good old foundations? No, it's apples and oranges. I can give it a try if you want to ask me, of course. The other thing I can do, if you need it, just let me know, is I can, if you're around my shade or, always a little under or always a certain amount over, I can, compare and contrast on my hand or on my arm, the different shades of these serum foundations. Again, KVD, Gucci, the Burberry, Laura Mercier, and this one by Saie. There's probably another one in there. You can let me know what I left out just by memory there. So you can let me know what it is you need because you have some decisions to make if you want to try one of these serum foundations, and price might be part of it. Of course, this is $40. Others are more, the Burberry I tried is lovely, but it's $60. So you can kind of look at price as well. But basically, I'm here to answer your questions. There is no fragrance. That's very important to note. And I do not believe there's any denatured alcohol that I saw in the list. No fragrance, no denatured alcohol. That's going to help some people right away. Where the Burberry, for instance, has a hint and a burst of fragrance in it, and so does the Gucci. And it dissipates, but it's in there. Some of these things might help you make that decision. So, let me know what you need to know. I'm very in touch with my community if you're new here, so I will answer your question. Beware of YouTube removing comments. That's not me. If they remove yours, just comment again. Sorry about that in advance. All right, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so we can continue to grow. Come and say a big hello and give me a follow over on Instagram and TikTok too. And don't forget that you can get more involved in this channel by either becoming a member for behind the scenes and special members' lives, or by giving super thanks, which so many of you have done. But in any way that you are involved at all, I'm just happy to see you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.